Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Yu Yu Hakusho Slugfest video, and literally, the second my tier list video dropped for this month for this game, they drop Younger Toguro 100% at the same time. So I figured I'd go ahead and get a video out for him so you would understand this character's worth, especially against the current tier list I have. Now, as always, you do have a prior option, and it makes total sense your other option if you didn't want to get Younger Toguro 100% would be, of course, the Genkai Spirit Wave secret technique, which I talked about in my tier list video as being one tier lower for the SP characters that we currently have. Plus, you get her for free once you complete the event that has been open since the game started. So I would not recommend going for that Genkai. And the other reason why is A, you're going to get it free, of course, but B, because that character in Younger Toguro SP work very well together, which I talked about in my tier list video. So now we've got Younger Toguro 100%. Now this is a tough one. This character is what I would consider a top tier SP character, but it's about team builds, and what I talked about in my tier list video is the importance of where are you going to go with your teams, especially early in the game. So if you've already heavily invested in, let's say, Hiei and Kurama, and you have those SPs, this may not be the best option for you, but let's talk about this character because he is actually really good. Now we're just going to start at this top, going and looking at his skill. Now his skill, 100% power, costs 1500 skill points, deal 126% physical damage to all enemies, so he's AoE, with an additional 75% final crit rate, which is really nice. And you gain 1 stack of Spectre and gain another stack after defeating enemy characters. So you're guaranteed the 1 stack, and if you take anybody else out, you're gonna get more stacks. What does Spectre do? Well, it increases the ignore defense by 5%, and you can get up to 4 stacks, and it lasts until battle ends. So once you get those 4 stacks, you're gonna be getting that minus 20% ignore off your opponent's characters, which makes him just brutal. Now his passive increases damage dealt and damage reduction by 16%, and that's just at 2. At 4, the basic stats just increase by 24%. His basic attack does do 100% physical damage, and you gain a battle will. Now, this is where we're going to get into the nitty-gritty about this character, and we're going to start with the Awaken. So at 1, as battle starts, for each offensive or assault companion deployed apart from yourself, all damage you deal is increased by 10%, up to 30% for each defensive or support companion deployed. All damage you take from enemy characters is reduced by 10%, up to 30%. For every 3 crit attacks you deal, gain 1 stack of Obsession. And Obsession, what does that do? Well, it deals 15% more crit damage, and it can stack up to 4 times, which is absolutely crazy when you think about that, and it lasts till battle ends. So yeah, so building your team around this character becomes very important. If it's going to be more offensive focused or defensive focused, either way, just know your limitations. You can only go to 30%. So having 3 offensive or assault companions is the most you're going to want to do to maximize this character. And of course, then you fall back on the defensive side then. And of course, Younger Toguro does not count. But just keep that in mind when you're building your team. Now at 3, when Obsession, Combat Maniac, and Spectre cumulatively reach 4 stacks for the first time, all allies gain extreme power for 2 turns. Extreme power is all ally and enemy characters receive 50% less healing and shielding For the duration, when a companion is defeated, younger Toguro 100% restores 25% max HP, 750 skill points, and 1 battle will. And if it's an enemy character, additionally restores 750 skill points. Now you're going to go like, that is interesting because it affects both sides. Well, not, because you basically are just increasing the power to your younger Toguro, and hopefully he is, each time the power is increasing and he's able to attack, he just keeps killing your opponent. And even though you may lose some of your side in the process, younger Toguro is just building and building, just like the character does. Now moving to 5, it is extreme powers reduction on healing and shielding doubles for enemy characters. And that's key, because when you do get him maxed, now it's definitely more costly to your opponent than it is to you. Skills cost 500 fewer skill points, which is just amazing. And the skill point restoration rate and all damage dealt are increased by 20%. So he just becomes just a cycle machine when you get him to this point. Obsession deals 15% more crit damage, and it can stack up to 4 times like we've talked about previously. Combat Maniac reduces reflection damage taken by 30% and increases lifesteal rate by 5%, and this can stack up to 4 times, which is even crazier. So beating on him becomes costly to your opponent, as well as the fact is you're stealing upwards of 20% once you get that 4 stacks of lifesteal, so it becomes very difficult to kill this character. That's what makes him so good. He's a ramping up character, and his kit plays very nicely for that. Now when we look to his secret skill passive, younger Toguro 100% increases ignore defense by 8% and skill point reduction resistance by 75%. He becomes immune to all control effects, and each time immunity is triggered, he gains 1 stack of Spectre, lasting until the end of battle. For every 5 debuffs applied to him, he randomly dispels 1 debuff, gains 200 skill points, and 1 battle will, which all that is just crazy. Again, going to the whole idea that this is a ramping up character. And then we have the secret skill Full Power. Consumes 3 battle will to attack all enemies, dealing 126% physical damage with an additional 75% final crit rate. Ignores shields and directly reduces the target's HP. After the attack, deals additional damage equal to 15% of the total damage to targets with shields, and gains 1 stack of Combat Maniac, which we've talked about previously, and that reduces reflection damage taken by 30% and increases lifesteal rate by 5% and can stack up to 4 times. So again, this character is just a juggernaut, okay? He starts off and just keeps building. He is basically a late game character when you're battling, and it just becomes nearly impossible to kill him when he gets to full power once you get him up to enough copies, and that's what just makes him so crazy good. So when I talk about this character, that is why he is an upper top tier SP character. But again, your focus should be how to build the team. And if you want to build a team with younger Toguro, there are lots of options, but like I've said before, the SP Genkai is great with him. And on top of that, you get these co-op battle bonuses as you build them up. So right out of the gate, just having them with no duplicates when companion Genkai Spirit Wave secret technique is in possession, younger Toguro gets a 5% HP, defense, and attack increase, and that just continues up to a full 15% as you build these characters. So they are a great tandem. And then with that, then you got to decide what you're looking for your team. Are you looking for buffers that are going to push him more, or do you want some more offense on your side? So A, you're going to do a little bit more damage, and B, you're going to be able to increase his attack. It's all going to be about your team build. You can't go wrong with either, quite honestly. I can say in the days when I played the prior version, when I built teams, I actually focused a little bit more defensively because he is a ramping character, knowing that he's going to get everything he needs offensively as the game progresses that he's in that match. But that was my preference. But don't get me wrong, you can just bulk him out to go just blow things up from the get-go, and it's only going to get better. So he is a good character. Is he a must-get? Not necessarily. It's going to be mattering on what you want to build. But he is a very formidable opponent, a very good character, and if you're a fan, then definitely it's a fun team to build around him and the SP Genkai. And since it is free through that one event, if you're doing that, then yeah, hey, go for it. You're not going to be disappointed with this character. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.